Buxman uses no herbicides to strip the ground bare of vegetation. And something good started to happen.
Beneficial insects began to grow in here. You can see all kinds of life forms in here. That little shelled animal provides free calcium for my trees. Other guys are off buying fertilizer, and they're buying manures, and they're buying calcium nitrate and triple 15 and triple phosphate. The truth is that all these little organisms will eat this vegetation. It turns it into raw manure. And what happens is the land finally becomes self-fertile.
And the difference is easy to see when Paul Buxman takes a shovelful of dirt from his neighbor's vineyard and compares it to one from his orchard.
Now, these soils were identical when we took the farm. There's just no difference between the two that you could see physically, but I think you can see a difference now. We've begun to get earthworms coming in. And also, there's a lot of microscopic, very small critters that are in here. You can smell it, you can feel it. The smell is rich and deep. And there's no smell. This is dead. This soil, it died. It died a long time ago.
It will take most farmers a long time to catch up with Paul Buxman. The need to maximize crop yields to pay that mortgage drives American farmers. They see chemicals as the fastest, surest way to protect their investment. But the farmer is not the only one responsible. We consumers, you and I, are part of the problem, demanding the cosmetically perfect fruits and vegetables that chemicals produce. Did you know that many of the chemicals used have nothing to do with protecting crops? They merely make fruit bigger, shinier, more pleasing to the eye. Now admit it, you'd have picked this one too. And we prefer convenient foods, seedless creations, easy to eat.
When we bred the seeds out of watermelon, we got a poor watermelon. When we bred the seeds out of grapes, we got weaker grapes. We've got a grape that was developed by the USDA. I mean, that grape was just meant to rot. But you've got to spray it every 5 days, every row, through the entire harvest season to get it to market. And the only way around that is to spray it with fungicides that are systemic, meaning that it goes into the fruit itself. It's seedless and it's red, and that's what the customer wants. I pulled out 13 acres of seeded grapes because I couldn't sell them. And that vineyard required almost no pesticide use. I tried my best to sell those grapes. I bagged them, I packed them fresh, I trimmed them, I did everything I could. But the customer looked at them and said, seeded, forget it.
The consumer who does not want chemically grown food has to demand it. But few major supermarket chains offer it, and nearly all large growers rely heavily on chemicals. So what should parents of young children do? Not feed them fruits and vegetables? Well, that cure might well be worse than the disease, because children need the vitamins and minerals this fresh produce has to offer. But surely the time has come for government to act swiftly and for industry to respond candidly in telling the public what's on and in the produce our children eat.
Mr. Chairman, I'm pleased to appear before the committee.
It's so hard to change a clumsy way of doing things. But it will change. Government will change.
What will make it change?
I think what will make it change is that it will die of its own weight. It can't survive the weight of the paper. It can't even read and make sense of its own documents. It can't make decisions based on information that it can't understand.
Committee will be in order.
Good afternoon.
The report about pesticides in the diets of infants and children is now scheduled to be released in June, nearly 3 years late. It will be the first government study to ask basic questions about what impact residues of agricultural chemicals might have on children after 40 years of continuous use. Its likely conclusion, the potential problems merit further study. The answers seem no closer today than when Rachel Carson first began to ask them 3 decades ago.